Oh, hi there, and welcome back to Minecraft. In this video, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of really useful shortcut keys for Minecraft Java Edition. Some of these are for survival, and others for creative. Let's begin. So let's start this off with the basics. If you press the F1 key on keyboard, that will toggle the GUI on and off. Simple. F2 takes a screenshot. F3 toggles the debug info, which provides lots of information, including coordinates and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you'd like to know more about that and like to see a separate video on that, let me know in the comments below. F5 changes the perspective of the camera, so first person, third person behind, etc. And F11 toggles the full screen mode. So moving on to F3 combinations, these all require you to press and hold the F3 key whilst pressing another key. So first of all, F3 and A reloads the chunks. F3 and B shows hitboxes. F3 and C, when held for a couple of seconds, will crash the game, like that. I don't know why you want to do that. If you press F3 and C whilst doing it, it stops it crashing. I have no idea why anyone wants to do that. F3 and D hides the chat, so everything from there has now vanished. Hello, villager. What do you want? F3 and F increases the render distance by 1. F3, F and Shift decreases the render distance by 1. F3 and G shows chunk borders. F3 and H shows advanced item tooltips. So without it, if you hover over your sword, it looks like that. With it, you get all this extra information. It tells you the amount of hits it's got left, the durability, etc. like that. It's very, very useful to know what's going on with it. F3 and N toggles between the game mode you're in and spectator. F3 and Q shows all F3 combinations. So if you're not sure and you can't remember, that's one to remember. If you hold Alt and press F3, you can see the FPS graph. Very useful. And if you hold F3 and then press F4, it will cycle through the different game modes. Now for the more interesting ones, moving items around your inventory. So as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of items here, obviously all diamonds because I'm super cool and netherite sucks, not diamonds are much better. What you can do, if you want to move these items down, you can hold the shift key and then click on an item and it will automatically bring it to the first available slot in your inventory in any order you want. Also, you can apply armor as such by holding shift and clicking on it and it will automatically go straight in and come back out as per. There is, however, an easier way to do it. As long as you've got the item in your hotbar, all you need to do is right-click on the relevant item. So, like that, or that. How much time did that just save? If you want to put them in a certain place, all you need to do, all these 9 here, these correspond to numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way through there. If you hover over an item, and let's say we want that to go to number 5 slot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just press 5. And it goes in, and same for all the other numbers as well, obviously. This also works in reverse, so if you wanted to take an item out of one of those slots and say put it there, let's say you wanted the helmet, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4, just click 4, it will take it out of the slot and put it in the slot that you're currently hovering over. And the same works for all the other numbers, so let's say 9, and I don't know, 3, there you go. Shift also works when you're throwing items into the crafting table, or into a chest. As such, if you want to throw an item out of your inventory, all you need to do is press Q and it will throw it straight out. Like that. If you want to throw an entire stack, hold Control and press Q. Easy. Same works if you're in your inventory and you want to throw an item from there, so all you need to do is hover over it and then press Q or Control and Q for a stack. Pro YouTuber. If you come across a chest and you want to take all the good items out, like the diamonds, and leave all the yucky ancient debris in there, all you need to do is click on one item, hold the shift key, and then double click one of the other items. You don't have to be holding the same item if you want to do that. So I've got a shovel, and I just brought them all down. If you want to put the items in your hand instead of in your inventory, just double click. And also, while you're holding items, if you want to just place one down instead of the whole stack, just right click. Or, if you want to split the stack in half, hover over the item, right click, and there you go. You can also evenly distribute multiple items either in your inventory or a chest by holding down the left mouse button and dragging them across. So the next thing I want to show you is how to quickly pick an item in your inventory like pro Minecrafters do. So as you can see, I've got oak log and cobblestone in my inventory, and I'm not going to select them, but I'm going to go over to the house, and if I click the middle button of my mouse, it will then basically move the item into my next available slot. So I can do the same with the cobblestone, and there you go. This also works in creative mode, but it means that you can get items that aren't in your inventory, like a door or a step. Another thing you can do with the middle button of your mouse is hovering over an item such as the oak log and then press the middle button in. And that creates a full stack, and that works with literally any block. Apart from items that don't do stacks, then it just creates another item. Not content with duplicating a stack of items? Try this. Click on the items you want to duplicate, press and hold down the middle button of your mouse, and then drag. And then you get lots of stacks. And if you're playing on a laptop and you don't have a mouse, you can go into the controls and change the binding for pick block to whatever button suits you. If you manage to keep up to this point, you're well on your way to becoming a pro Minecrafter. Now, what's the next logical step once you've created a chest full of ancient debris? Creating another chest, that's absolutely right. So if you hold Control and press the middle button on your mouse, it copies the chest. Now it doesn't just copy the chest, it copies the MBT data as well, as you can see. So if you place that down, you've got a chest full of ancient debris. And another one, and another one, and another one. So the next thing we want to do is setting up hotbars. Now, that was good timing. Now this can be very useful. So as you can see in my inventory, I have absolutely nothing. But that doesn't stop me from doing this. Now I have lots of materials. I have a whole bunch of other materials. And I have another bunch of materials. And this doesn't change what's in my inventory, or only my hotbar. And this is all done via hotbars. So let's show you how that works. So what you need to do is basically you select a set of items that you want as the hotbar. So let's just change this around just so you can see the difference. So that can be on your hotbar. Now, in order to set it up, you need to press and hold C and then select a number between 1 and 9, and that will then allocate a slot for it. So let's do this C4, and as you can see, item hotbar saved C4. If we look in there, we can see the new one, which is that one, alongside all the others. And say that doesn't change what's in this part of the inventory, only there. And if you're like me and you play with Optifine on, you might have some issues with this. So if we come down here, you can see that I actually had to manually add C on there because, as you know with Optifine, C is zoom. So if you're not playing with Optifine, it will automatically be C. If not, you have to select a button for this, and I've just used C because it's the right button. Now let's assume that you've got all of these items and you just want to get rid of them. You've got far too much stuff and you just want to clear it. Now, you probably already know in Creative that there's actually this little icon here which lets you destroy an item. So you can actually drag and drop something in there and it'll destroy it. But you might not know that if you press and hold the Shift key whilst clicking in there, that destroys everything. And that includes all your armors and everything in your offhand, the whole lot. Like so. Now, if you've watched this entire video and your next question is, well, what about Bedrock? Here are all the Bedrock shortcut keys. So W goes forward, S goes back, A left, D right, space jump, shift crouch. You can also use Q to drop an item, Control and Q to drop multiple items, middle mouse button to pick items, left to break items, right mouse to place items, F1 to hide GUI, F5 to change camera. Look at my old skin. And one last thing that works for both Java and Bedrock. Some would say the greatest shortcut key in Minecraft. The greatest key in Minecraft history. Alt and F4. Closes everything. That's my cat. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.